Hi everyone and welcome back. Welcome to another video, and in this video we are going to talk about Nest.js GraphQL code first approach with MongoDB. So in the last video we talked about code first approach with uh, TypeORM and Postgres. This time we changed it to NoSQL, and we will see what is the difference. It's just like we are just changing the persistence layer from Postgres to MongoDB, and we are going to use Mongoose. So it is a plain and simple example, so I want to walk you through, not like writing the code because it's not big much, it's not much code we are writing here. Instead of typeorm module.for root async, we are using mongoose module.for root, and you can pass your database URL. And I already have a docker compose.yml. You can just do docker compose up, your MongoDB container is up and running, and you can start consuming the data. So I just have items module which I have added in the app module. This is the items module. Items module has a service, resolver, and DTOs, and the schema, because we are using Mongoose. So in Mongoose we define a schema which is a representation of a NoSQL table. And here we have items module which contains mongoose module.for feature, what is the schema name, what is the model name, the representation of model object, which is an instance of the model, and the schema. This is the item schema, and the service and the resolver. Same, we are going to replace the controller with the resolver and the service which is going to access this MongoDB model. Here we are using inject model items, and so that we can do item.find, item.save, item.find1, find by id and update, find by id and remove, all these different possible basic operations. So I will not go into much into the deep because this is just a simple item CRUD. Here I'm doing create. For this create I'm taking item input. First let's talk about resolver, because resolver is taking the input. Okay, and here we are defining the types, same as the DTO. So here in the DTO I'm using the object type, field, int, input type, all these values I'm using. You can see here I'm doing the field which is of type ID, which is object ID, and these are others are type string. And you can also add a class validators and all from the is string, is not empty, is defined, is not null, and all these things. So resolver is returning a type of item type. So what is item type? Create item DTO. This is the item type, because all these methods are going to return the item type containing the ID, what are the different price, title, description, and all. So this is our resolver. This resolver has all these methods. I'm just injecting the service, and then we have this query which is returning item type array, query which returns a string, query which returns item type, query which returns item type object. These are like update, delete, and create, right? In create I'm taking the item input, and I'm doing service.create, service.update, service.delete, and service.find all. A very simple operations, right? Which is like simple CRUD. And then inside the service we have defined all these methods, because in service we have injected the item model, the mongoose model, and we are doing find all, find one, find by id and remove, find by id and delete, basic mongoose CRUD operations. So I will not talk much here because these are very basic things we are talking, and this is how simple it is. Now instead of this you can have a number of models, write their resolvers, write their services, different modules, and put those modules in the app module. Because my target is to cover more on the Prisma side, Prisma, Nest.js, GraphQL. So I just wanted to talk simple examples for the Mongoose. So we can run this. I will do docker compose up and then npm run start, and we should be able to access the queries and mutations exposed by this GraphQL setup. Okay, now we can see a demo like how it is working. This is our docker compose file, and I did docker compose up, and it was able to spin the MongoDB container, and then I did npm install, npm run start. That's it. Okay, and it is starting this Nest.js GraphQL server with mongoose initialized, item module dependency initialized, and then we can just reload this so we can get the updated documents. and here we can see we have these queries and we have the mutations. So let's try this query. And this is returning empty, and then we can create the item. This is a mutation, and I can run the mutation, and then I can again hit the query, give me all the items. So this is like plain and simple how we are executing it, right? So this is simple example of Nest.js GraphQL with a Mongoose and MongoDB, and you can just add on to further modules. Instead of item modules, you can have a user module, comment module, post module, and define the relationship with the MongoDB collections using references, and you can build the whatever the APIs you want. Okay, so in the coming videos we will talk about Nest.js GraphQL with the Prisma. That is our main target and main focus, and I will cover at least 1 or 2 applications with that demo examples and how it is working. So stay tuned and let's connect in the next video.